marketers want it. So become an expert in the latest tools to serve those industries. That would be my play. Not everybody can um,
Mhm.
maybe jump up and become well skilled on it, but I actually would argue that you could because it's so early. If you can become the expert in how to apply banana filters and technology, or even as you're describing, like the video stuff is just emerging, dig in and be the person that experiments and drives the difference there. Because I do see people kind of falling into three camps. One is people in the industry saying, "Hey, this model is evolving, and we're jumping, or this business model is evolving. We're jumping forward. We're going to be the early adopters." I see people saying, "No, I've been in this industry for 20 years, like me, and this is another flash in the pan, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm just going to hold on." And then I see maybe the biggest group of people saying, like, "I'm frozen. I'm paralyzed. I'm not sure what to do. I'm just going to kind of watch everything and then let somebody else tell me what to do." And I think that those are all options. But what I would recommend is like dive in, play, try, experiment. Because if I could be a photographer who also knows, if I'm a photographer and I know how to do Photoshop, like let's rewind 10 years ago, that's a very valuable photographer, because I can do the photography as well as the editing. And if I can do photography, Photoshop to edit things, and also be an expert in some of these generative tools, you got a trifecta there.
Mhm.
So it's kind of just a constant evolution. And some people are saying, no, 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 I'm a photographer only. I'm a purist. I'm only going to be a photographer. I'm not going to do any of the production work or the after the
I guess
production work.
post production, I guess.
Yeah, post production. And it's like, well, okay. I mean, that is a choice for you to be the best photographer,
Mhm.
But I would be expanding my toolkit across all these technologies um, to take advantage of that. So that's what I would do.
I think that's fair. I think the waves coming with or without you. I had a conversation with my friend a couple of years ago. He was kind of freaking out, and he was like, "I don't know what to do. Like this is scary. Like this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like 5 years. I don't want to be a doomer, but like 5 years from now, like my industry's gonna like should probably completely change, and like I don't
Hmm.
necessarily know what what I should do." I was like, "Either ride the wave or you don't. Like it's
Yeah.
coming. So it's gonna either react to it or you ride it or you
Yeah.
you you watch it happen. Either or.
Yep.
Speaking of waves, so what are the waves that Backstroke is making? So can you talk about like how there was two really cool things that you talked about when we had met prior was like there's this proprietary data set that you use to help drive the curation of
Hmm.
these Gen AI assets that is different than like if I was just doing it myself. Like if I just did it myself, I would not get the same results as what you would get at Backstroke using the
Yeah.
product.
Yeah. So we built this data set. We started the business about a year and a half ago to generate marketers' email campaigns. But about 4.5 years ago, I started signing up for every email marketing program I could find.
Mm,
And like literally, I've signed up for thousands, of tens
that's
of
brutal.
thousands at this point. Now we've automated a lot of it, but the idea was to amass a giant data set that we could understand things like what types of content are people sending, are brands sending, what types of offers are they offering at what times of day or what times of week or what times of year, how are they describing those either visually or in text, what colors, what fonts, what is that pattern month over month, year over year, etc. And then, excuse me, and then we use all of that data as a training set so that when Backstroke generates content, we generate content that is aligned with the day or the time of year or the cycle that the brand is in, not just generating content off the bat. The other thing that we did was we started building up our own data set of consumer preferences. And so somebody who lives in New York, who is of a certain gender, who has certain income and certain age, has lots of different preferences than someone who might look similarly but live in Indianapolis, where I live. And we've captured that through surveys and research on a quarterly basis and use that to take, in combination with our data set, generative content that is not only predictive of trends, but also predictive of performance. So, yeah, it's a cool data set. We're still digging into it to find new ways to do cool stuff. But that was the base for Backstroke and what sets us apart in the landscape.